Hey, my name is Sara, and I'm going to tell you something today that I've never said out loud before. Not to my mom, not to my best friend, not to anyone. So just stay with me for a second. I was 23 years old, sitting on the floor of a bathroom in a shared apartment. 4 girls, 1 room, 1 bathroom, 1 dream between all of us. And I was crying. Not the pretty kind of crying. The ugly kind. The silent kind. The kind where you press your hand over your mouth so your roommates don't hear. My phone had 2% battery. My account had less than that. And I had just gotten off a call with my mom, where she said, "Beta, just come home, get married, stop this nonsense." And for the first time, I almost said yes. Let me take you back. Small town, middle-class family. Dad worked hard his whole life. Government job, fixed salary, fixed life. I was the first girl in my family who said, "I want to do something different." And you know what that gets you in a small town? Looks. The kind that say, "Who does she think she is?" But I had this thing inside me, this quiet, stubborn thing that just wouldn't sit down. So at 21, I packed 1 bag, took a bus to the city, and I told myself, give it 2 years, 2 years to figure it out. First month was okay, new city energy. Everything feels possible when everything is still new. Second month, reality. I needed a job, any job. I applied everywhere, cafes, call centers, retail stores, small offices. You know what kept happening at interviews? They'd look at my resume, then look at me. Then they'd say something like, "You're from a small town. Do you know anyone here?" Or, "You seem inexperienced." Or they'd just say they'd call back. They never called back. I finally got a job at a small marketing agency. Junior coordinator. 40-hour weeks. Salary that barely covered rent and groceries. I told myself, it's a start. Just a start. 3 months in, my manager started being weird. Not obviously weird, the subtle kind. Staying late and asking me to stay too. Comments about how I looked that day. Once, putting his hand on my shoulder during a meeting and leaving it there too long. I didn't say anything. Because I needed that job. And because I knew exactly what would happen if I did say something. I'd seen it happen to other girls. They say something, then suddenly they're the problem, then suddenly they're gone. So I kept my mouth shut and my head down. For 4 months I did that. And then one evening he crossed a line I won't describe here. And I picked up my bag and I walked out. No notice, no plan, no savings. Just out. That night I sat in a McDonald's for 3 hours because it was air-conditioned and I needed somewhere to think. I had 11,000 rupees in my account. No job, a rent payment due in 18 days. And a phone full of messages from my mom asking when I was coming home. I ordered 1 coffee, and I made it last 2 hours. And I thought about every girl back home who tried to do what I was doing. Most of them had gone back. Not because they wanted to. Because the city made it impossible to stay. Because the city has this way of grinding you down slowly. Rent, loneliness, harassment, exhaustion. Until going back feels like relief instead of defeat. And sitting there in that McDonald's, I understood for the first time why they went back. I understood it in my body. The next few months were the hardest of my life. I picked up freelance work, data entry, small writing jobs, anything online. I was making maybe 8,000 to 10,000 a month if I was lucky. Rent was 12. I started skipping meals, not dramatically. Just, okay, I'll eat twice today instead of 3 times. Okay, I'll skip breakfast. Okay, this packet of biscuits is dinner. My roommate Priya noticed. She didn't say anything directly. She just started leaving extra food on the kitchen counter. That small thing made me cry more than anything else had. And then the harassment found me online too. I'd started posting small things, just thoughts. Just little observations about being a girl trying to figure out the city. And the comments, I'm not going to read them to you, but I'll tell you what they made me feel. Small. Stupid. Like I should just disappear. Like the city was telling me, You don't belong here. Go back. Know your place. Some girls in my DMs told me they'd gone through the same thing and deleted everything. I almost did too. There was one night, I want to be honest with you about this, where I got a message from someone who said they could help me make easy money. I knew what it meant. I'm not naive, and I want to be real with you. I didn't delete it immediately. I sat with it. For about 20 minutes, I sat with that message open. Because I was tired, and broke, and alone, and 23 years old and so far from home. And sometimes when you're that tired, the wrong thing starts to look like a solution. But I thought about my dad, who worked a government job his whole life, with quiet dignity, who never once complained, who dropped me at the bus stand with one bag and said, "I trust you." Just that. 2 words. I trust you. I deleted the message. And I cried for a long time after that. Not sad crying. Something else. Something harder to name. The next morning I woke up and I made a decision. Not a big dramatic decision, a quiet one. I said, okay. No more waiting for someone to give me an opportunity. No more applying to jobs where men in offices get to decide if I'm worth something. No more asking permission. I'm going to build something that's mine. Something nobody can take from me when I walk out of a room. A skill. A voice. A body of work. I started writing. Every day, just writing. About what I was going through. About the city. About being a girl who refuses to go back. About the small, beautiful things that kept me going. A good cup of tea. Priya's extra food on the counter. The way the sky looks at 6 a.m. before the city wakes up. I didn't write for views. I wrote because it was the one thing that made me feel like myself again. Like I had a voice that nobody could put their hand on. It was slow. God, it was slow. Months of writing into silence. Months of 0 comments, 0 shares, 0 anything. My mom called every week the same question. Beta, when are you coming home? Every week I said, soon, Mom, not yet. But something was building. I couldn't see it yet, but something was building. Around month 7, a girl messaged me. She said, I don't know you, but I read everything you wrote, and I feel less alone. I read that message 4 times. I feel less alone. That was the moment. Not a viral post, not a big number, not money. Just one girl telling me that my words made her feel less alone in the same city that had been trying to break both of us. After that, something shifted in how I worked. I stopped writing for some imaginary audience. I wrote for that girl. The one sitting in a shared apartment. The one skipping meals. The one who got a message she almost didn't delete. The one whose mom keeps asking her to come home. I wrote for her every single day. And slowly, so slowly she multiplied. More messages, more girls, more people who said, this is my story too. Small things started happening. A brand reached out for a small collaboration. Small money, but real money. Then a website asked me to write for them. Then another. Then someone asked if I did consulting calls for young creators just starting out. I said yes. And I charged for it. Not a lot, but something. And something, after nothing for so long, felt enormous. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I made it. I'm 23. I'm still figuring it out. My account isn't fat. My apartment is still small. I still talk to my mom every week, and she still asks the question. But here's what's different now. I have something that belongs to me. A skill nobody can take. A voice nobody can silence. A body of work that says, I was here. I stayed. I didn't go back. And that is worth every hard night. If you're a girl in this city right now, or any city, grinding quietly, being underestimated daily, getting messages you have to fight yourself not to reply to, I want you to hear this from someone who sat on that bathroom floor. You are not too soft for this. You are not too small town. You are not too inexperienced. You are just early. And early looks exactly like this. Hard and slow and invisible and worth it. Don't go back. Not yet. Build the one thing nobody can take from you. Your skill, your voice, your work. That's the only thing that's actually yours. I almost didn't make it. But I did. And so will you.